Everyone, welcome to this webinar. Nice to have you here today and thank you for your interest. Before we get started, I would like to thank the people of Blue Moon for allowing us access to their facilities to record this webinar and for their technical support. I also want to thank our partners for their continued trust, care and service towards the crowdbeamer brand. Now, let's get this webinar on the road. As you can see, I will be hosting this webinar alongside our company's founder, Hans Roman. Hans is currently at the studio. Hans, how are you doing today?
Yeah, very well, Vincent. Thank you.
Nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Hans, okay, for the first part, we'll go over to you in the studio.
Yeah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, during the next 20 to 30 minutes, we will show you how crowdbeamer supports organizations in their continued battle to COVID-19. This webinar consists of 4 parts. First of all, we take a look at how we used to do business before the coronavirus and how we are coping during lockdown. Secondly, we look at the problems and the challenges that companies are facing due to current safety measures and regulations. Next, we will introduce crowdbeamer through a short product demonstration. Here we will focus on the main strengths of the device and how these added values become even more prominent in today's climate. In the last part of this webinar, we will share with you some use cases that can explicitly benefit from using crowdbeamer. And before ending the webinar, we will organize a Q&A session and answer the questions you might have. We start with part 1, how things used to be. So let us start by reminiscing over how we used to conduct business before the corona pandemic.
I think we've realized by now how much we took for granted the ability to see other people in person and on a daily basis. We used to live in a world where doing business meant meeting each other face to face to discuss, consult, and decide. Meetings were an integral and important part of the work environment, and deals were struck with a handshake. Then, in only a few months' time, the coronavirus pandemic turned the lives of everyone around the world upside down. Schools closed, events got cancelled, unnecessary travel was prohibited, and governments and companies were forced to make a large-scale move to remote work. Office workers ditched the daily commute to the corporate office to work from the comfort of their own homes, at the dining room tables, the couch, or even their bed. While the initial confinement allowed us to spend more time with our loved ones, it also came with some non-traditional work-related problems, like social isolation, distraction, or the inability to mentally detach from work. And of course, something you might all recognize, boundary issues with relatives.
What would you say in those circumstances? Oh, I think you've got to...
What? Fuck, fuck off, I'm on live telly! Fuck off out of it! Stay out of my office! I'm on fucking hell! Fuck off, you little twat! Sorry.
And now, back to work. By now, most countries allowed for a gradual return to work. That is, under specific conditions and requirements. These regulations and safety measures focus us thoroughly reevaluate the working environment. That is why it's very important for business today that they are able to efficiently enforce social distancing in a way that enables the business to continue to operate. To accommodate for social distancing, fundamental design changes will be necessary.
Attractive locations will increase your success, and crowdbeamer can also facilitate during multi-language events through its unique features. Now, let's take a look at how crowdbeamer and Corona work together. Let's talk about how these advantages that we've just showed translate to today's challenges and how crowdbeamer can help keep people safe and companies open for business. To showcase this, we've created a small video. In this video, we'll follow a consultant who's facing these challenges in different aspects of his work life. crowdbeamer assists in overcoming them. Hello everyone, today I will tell you a little bit more about how the coronavirus has affected the event and hospitality business. So I'll show you a few instances of how we used to do conferences. This is just an example, a few slides. Hello.
Hi Vincent, you're here for the meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
We're going to sit outside today.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so hello everyone. Very nice that I can be here today in this great weather. So I've prepared a PowerPoint for you, and as you know, you can all follow it with a crowdbeamer, and you can see what I've prepared for you.
How did that meeting go?
Oh, it was nice. It was good. I can show you if you connect to the crowdbeamer network. I can show you some slides. Let me just.
Right, I'm connected.
So now you should see presentation.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Hi guys, thanks for having me here today. So I heard that you as an AV company have come up with some alternatives to face this corona crisis. What did you guys come up with?
Designed different kind of studios, the more formal ones, the more casual ones, depending on which kind of message should be communicated.
Yeah, I can actually see them right here. Yeah. Thank you all for being here today for this dinner. Let's maybe start with a toast. Eh?
Yeah.
Cheers. Like I promised, I've prepared a small presentation that we can view during this dinner. This is our budget allocation for the next event.
Yeah, it looks interesting, Vincent.
Yes.
As you saw, social distancing is still very much important and mandatory. The challenge, however, especially for smaller businesses, will be maximizing the limited available working space. Discussions with co-workers, meetings with a larger group of people, or even small talk, all become increasingly difficult to facilitate due to these regulations. As a consequence, bigger meeting rooms will have to be used. This means that participants will be seated further away from the screen or projection, and as a result, they might not be able to see the presentation anymore. Whether the recommended social distance will decrease in the near future or not, crowdbeamer is always able to provide the best view to everyone involved. Since participants are able to see the content on their own personal device, they can easily adapt to any difference in distance, zoom into smallest details, and even offer a clear view to those who are visually impaired. Closely related to the problem of social distance are small office rooms. In those specific cases, crowdbeamer's built-in battery and Wi-Fi network can offer some solace. Rather than worrying about the maximum capacity of each room, information can be shared outdoors or in common areas where it is easier to enforce social distance. As our slogan goes, crowdbeamer is able to present anywhere and reach everyone. In order to avoid any further spreading of the coronavirus, employers will also have to look into the ventilation of their office spaces. But rather than making expensive investments, why not make use of the outdoors? With crowdbeamer, you will be able to discover multiple new places to meet and present from. And lastly, crowdbeamer's incredible flexibility can aid businesses in their transition back to work. For those who do feel comfortable enough to come in, crowdbeamer's bring your own device technology allows them to use their own device, removing the burden of having to clean each device. Additionally, crowdbeamer completely removes the need for paper handouts by giving attendees the possibility to make digital takeaways. For those who don't yet feel comfortable to come to work, easy integration with digital conferencing tools like Zoom allow them to join in remotely. As you can tell from all of this, the current situation has only made the added value of crowdbeamer is even stronger.
We will now go into some specific situations where the added value of crowdbeamer is clearly visible. First off, business meetings. As mentioned before, meetings are an integral and important element of the work environment. And for a big part, digital conferencing tools like Zoom or Skype have allowed us to keep doing our job. However, human beings have always been social creatures, and even in the work environment, there is still a strong need for social interaction. But in order to get there, we will need to re-evaluate our workspace. In the meantime, crowdbeamer offers a flexible solution to the meeting room, not only for organizers, but also for the presenter and the attendees. crowdbeamer is an easy-to-use presentation solution that will help you organize meetings or presentations in any meeting room or other location of your company. Since there are no limitations to where crowdbeamer can be used, it minimizes the upgrade cost for physical meetings and enables employees to be flexible in the way they meet and where they meet. As a result, you no longer have to install built-in personal screens. Instead, you can use crowdbeamer combined with a tablet or laptop as a cheaper and more flexible solution. Next up is education. Similarly to the meeting room, the traditional classroom isn't fully adapted yet to the current situation. In order to keep 1.5 meter distance between students, only a third of the normal number of students will be able to have a seat. To solve this problem, teachers can utilize crowdbeamer's location-based presenting to transform any type of location into a classroom. Simply move to a bigger location or outside if the weather is nice. Another common issue that even the virtual classroom couldn't fix is the lack of attention and interactivity. With crowdbeamer, you can start to think creatively about the positioning of your audience. For example, have your students sit in a circle around the teacher, and this way you can create a microclimate in which they can learn effectively and attentively, where everyone can see the teacher clearly and where students can also see each other. Aside from work and education, sports associations are gradually preparing to reopen. Activities such as training sessions and club meetings will soon be organized again. Whether it's an information session for club members or tactical sessions with athletes or board meetings, crowdbeamer allows everyone to present from any location they want, assuring enough social distance.
It's time for conclusions. In summary, by introducing incredible doubts around business, education, and the way we operate them, Corona has changed our lives completely. If there is a silver lining to all of this, it's probably the rapid improvement of digital solutions and the adaptability to new and extreme situations by mankind. However, it's also safe to say that we rediscovered the importance of the value of real-life contact, which in the end can be replaced by any type of virtual communication. Before Corona, crowdbeamer was there, facilitating information and knowledge transfer in a wide variety of situations. Realizing the exit of the lockdown, crowdbeamer is there, pushing the exchange of information, taking into account all measures to team members, customers, and company decision makers. entering a newer reality and post-corona, crowdbeamer will be there also to stimulate creativity, interactivity by sharing ideas and information. Crowdbeamer underlines the importance and value of real-life contacts, which are really irreplaceable. Thank you for your attention. Now, we'll open the floor to questions for the audience. Thank you very much for being with us.
So, Hans, we've already have some questions from the audience. I can ask you the first one. So, somebody was wondering, taking social distancing into account, how many people can follow a presentation at the same time?
Well, our Go and enterprise model facilitates for 100 people. In the enterprise and Go version, with in a circle with a radius of 10 to 12 meters. And in these distances and this surface, you have enough place to place everyone with an enter distance of 1.5 meters. No problem for this. Crowdbeamer was already foreseen for corona situations.
Okay, very nice. Then there's another question. Somebody wondered how secure crowdbeamer really is.
Oh, for the moment, crowdbeamer, like we use here, is open. But we have 4 levels of security. The first level is totally open, like we have it here. The second level is secured by a password, like you know the Wi-Fi networks. The third level is whitelisting. Whitelisting is the level where you only can enter the crowdbeamer when you are allowed on before. So your MAC address of your device must be stored in the crowdbeamer, and only stored MAC addresses can enter the Wi-Fi. And then we have an intermediate level. An intermediate level is that the name of the network, the crowdbeamer network, is not showed in the list of available crowdbeamer Wi-Fi networks. So really 4 levels, and it's the user that can make his choice according to his situation to use the correct security level.
A complete package.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay. Another question was, somebody was wondering if they can present from a smartphone?
Yes, no problem. You can directly present from your iPhone if you have the Apple adapter from the 12-pin to the HDMI connector.
To HDMI.
You can do it also for other smartphones. The only condition is that the image that your screen is also on the adapter of your own smartphone.
Okay.
Today it works also for Samsung and others. Yeah.
And then maybe one final question the audience had. It's a real practical one. Do you offer your product in the US?
Yes, we do offer a product in US. There is no problem. And also we deliver the product on every place in the world.
Yeah, worldwide delivery.
Yeah. Indeed.
Okay, so I think that this concludes the webinar. If you have any additional questions, you can mail them to us. We'd gladly respond to them. So thanks again to the people of Blue Moon. Thank you, Hans.
Thank you, Vincent.
And this is the end of the webinar. Thank you for listening.